Well, hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about a few different things, but this is the pre-show first. Today I'm joined by Jenny, Jason, and Ben. We'll go through full introductions when we go live properly at 8 o'clock, so in about 5 minutes' time. So we're just having a quick natter first, saying hello to everyone in chat. So let me turn the chat on so we can actually see you. So if you can see us and hear us, please make sure you comment in the comment section so we know who you are. And it looks like Cormie's the first one, always from Ireland. We're just talking about you, Cormie, actually, funnily enough, just on about your accent, believe it or not. So, all right, let's go on to, let's say Ben first. So, Ben, how busy have you been this week? What have you been up to? Anything interesting?
Yeah, very busy this week. Thanks, Phil. Interesting. I don't know, not much different from normal. Lots of sort of sales coming through, lots of stuff to refurbish, laptops, and took on some HP ProBooks this week to refurbish. So yeah, it's keeping busy. Very busy for January, I have to say. It's quite nice though.
You swearing on the show again by saying that HP word?
Oh, I know, it's terrible, isn't it? I could say the A word, Phil, but we don't talk about the A word, you know.
Right, okay. Well, at least it was the pro versions, as in the business ones, rather than the cheap ones, anyway.
That's still bad.
Better than nothing, I suppose. Right, okay. So, Jason, have you been busy this week? What have you been up to?
Yeah, we've been busy. We've got a retail shop, and we also do business IT, services. We've this week I've been out to Leeds and Huddersfield, meeting a couple of clients, setting up a QNAP. I don't know if you've seen it in the group. An 84 terabyte NAS drive that we set up for a videographer in Leeds. That's what we've been busy with this week. So.
Well, yeah, that's definitely a lot of data. I know we go through a lot of data doing video editing, but that's just like, wow. Yeah, so I think I might have missed that one, but I'll definitely look for it later. So let me just live. And what about yourself, Jen? Are you finding it busy this week, or?
I was really busy this week with new builds, people with Windows 11, Windows 10 wanting new Windows 11 machines. I had a couple of really fancy, complicated builds to do because of that. And I'm noticing it's not just the gamers that are wanting it. It's the home and office users that are coming to me as well, wanting the Windows 11 upgrades. And I've been booking in call outs for Phil to go out and quote for new machines as well. So Windows 11 is one of those revenue generators right now, I'll say.
Yeah, it's one of those things where people are sort of on the edge. Do they upgrade or repair the Windows 10 machine, or do they go to a new one, which is Windows 11, because they've only got 3 years left on it? Well, unless they can upgrade it, which obviously if it's got like a, 7th gen or 8th gen, I forget now, Intel processor, then you can. But yeah, so there's quite a few are not. And let's just say hi to Alison Cook. So hi, Alison. Thanks for tuning in. She's from EADR. So if you're looking for a data recovery company, well, there you go. And we've also got Haley. We've also got Haley and Rich as well from Phase 4 Computers as well. So, guys, we're going to go to the full show now. So we'll just have a 30-second countdown, and we'll be going live to the main show. And we'll see you at the other side when I can find the correct button. Here we go. See you in a few seconds.
You're watching Tech Talk in affiliation with Tech for Techs. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live every Thursday at 8 p.m. London time, and we'll be streaming to Facebook and YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Google, TuneIn, and many more. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, and your host, Philip Griffiths.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tech for Tech's Tech Talk. This is a live show, and today's topic is...
Jerry, show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money!
So if you didn't get that, it's show me the money. So it's all about making more money in your IT business. So obviously Tom Cruise giving us a bit of a hint there. Right. Okay. It's not often we get celebrities on the show, but we do have three tonight. So we've got Jenni Griffiths. We've also got Jason as well, and Ben. So first, let's go over to Jenni. Jen, what's your job? What do you do? Introduce yourself and then give us a tip for today.
Depends on what time of the day it is, really. I'm Jenni. I'm the owner of Tech for Techs. Most of the time, I am working behind the scenes, camera production, all of that in Tech for Techs. Also reviewing products for Tech for Techs. I'm active in the group. So you might see me post or comment or something like that. I'm always around, like in the background. Phil is our pretty face, and I'm the brains. So also I help Phil in the shop chips, and I build and repair computers that come through the door. So like I said, it depends on what time of the day it is as to what my job title is.
There we go. Thank you for that. Is anyone else having the stutter in the background? I think Cormac says he's getting one. While we'll say that, we'll say hi to Becky on YouTube. And we've also got Facebook user. If you are a Facebook user, I just posted a link, or you can type it into your address bar, obviously on a different tab, and it'll give you permissions from Facebook to allow your name to be shown. I'm just going to change the background for a second just to see if that's actually what's affecting the stuttering. There we go. We'll just leave it as that for now. Right. Okay. So let's move over to Ben next. So Ben, if you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are, what you do, and if you've got any tips or stories or news or whatever for us.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Yeah, I'm Ben Ashcroft. I run Bugs and Bytes Computing in Lincoln. Mainly sell refurbished laptops, desktops, both to end users and to business, trade sales as well. My tip of the day. So I had to set up an account in Windows 11 Home Edition this week. I've only done Pro up until now, where you can bypass using an online account, but Windows 11 Home tries to force you to set up an online account. Now, there's one tested method for getting around this that I found this week, and there's one untested method which I've been told reliably does work. So the tested method is I use my business email address for creating an online account with. And then when you go into the desktop, you can use the command net pl whiz to then create a local account. You give that administrator privileges, and then log out of your online account, log into your local account, and you can delete the online account. It sounds very to and fro, but it's actually quite straightforward. And that then gets rid of the online account, so you don't need to have that associated with Windows anymore. The untested method, which, like I said, I've been reliably informed this works, but I've not yet tried it myself. When it gets to the screen where it wants you to create the online account, put in the email address hello@hello.com, and it fails every single time and bypasses the step and lets you into a local account.
That's pretty good, that, Ben. Good tip there. Another thing you could do as well is just buy the Pro version, and then you wouldn't have to mess about with it. But obviously that's more expensive. So let me just turn off the notifications on my phone. Sorry about that. Someone's notifying me on Facebook that they want to watch the show and they don't know how. Seems a little bit strange considering we're all live all over Facebook. But anyway, right. Okay, so let's move on to the newcomer of the day. So Jason, if you want to introduce yourself, let us know who you are, what you do, and basically if you've got any tips or stories for us for today.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Thanks for inviting me to the show. So my name's Jason McGlone. I've got two businesses. I've got a retail shop that does computer repairs, upgrades and sales, which is JC's PCs and Workshop, not too far from everybody that's in the group here. And we've got Proactive IT Services, which just basically is business IT solutions. My tip of the day is we get a lot of people phoning us up saying, oh, I've just been on this website. I've closed it down. I need to get it back up. Do you know how to do it? So basically all you need to do is press Control, Shift and T if you're on a PC, or if you're on a Mac, you can press Command, Shift and T to get the last tab back up. So thanks for inviting me to the show, and I'm excited to be here. Can I just say, it looks like Becky and Hallie have keep messaging me on there, and that's my daughter and my granddaughter. So hi, Becky and Hallie.
All right, there we go. So hi, family, and you've also got Greg from JCPC in Worksop as well.
That's right, that's my manager of our shop.
Right, there you go. So
also my future son-in-law.
Right.
Family edition.
Has he had his orders to log in and watch then, has he?
Obviously.
Right.
We need to get Tech for Techs up there, mate. That's what we need to do.
There we go. Right. Okay, let me go through my introduction. So, who am I? I'm Phil at Tech for Techs. I also own Chips Computers based in Chesterfield. If you don't know who I am by now, you're probably new to the show, but you'll figure it out in the end. Right, okay. So 2 news stories for today is, well, first thing is Microsoft is working on a fix for an issue where white shows as yellow if you have a HDR turned on Windows 11. Also make sure you don't go around eating any virtual snow if that is the case, just in case, especially if it's showing the wrong color. But can you run Crysis? Well, it looks like you will be able to ask that question yet again, as Crytek have announced Crysis 4. So when someone asks you, but can you run Crysis? You can now reply, I can't run Crysis, I can't get a GPU, and if I could, I couldn't afford one anyway. So, right. Okay, moving on. So today's sponsor, and here it is. I nearly clicked on the wrong one then. Right, and this is today's sponsor. Can you go and meet hundreds of people just like you? Strengthen existing relationships and forge new ones with vendors and distributors, and meet some of the biggest names in the industry. Where you can go and see the newest tech and services that you need to make your IT business grow. Where there'll be thousands of pounds worth of prizes up for grabs. And what's more, you get all that for £1. TechMax 2022 will be on the 24th of June at Bramall Lane, the Sheffield United Football Stadium in Sheffield. There will be around 50 different brands available for you to meet, and up to 500 other techs just like you. Get registered now at techmax2022.co.uk. There we go. So if you haven't registered, make sure you do. It's less than 150 days left now, so make sure you get registered. Not many evening tickets left. There's a few daytime tickets. We haven't got any more announcements this week, but we've got around about 20 or 30, which will be coming up in the next month, so keep tuned. Right, let's go on to the main topic. Right. First of all, let's say hi to Kunal. Hi, Kunal, and also Comi's on about your family and saying that's lovely that they're watching. So there we go. Right. Okay, so the main topic, as we said, is show me the money. And we're going to go around the room and basically give you ideas of different ways to make money. Some what you may have heard before, may jog memories. Some you may have not heard before, which I'm guessing there'll be a few interesting ones there. Also, if you're watching, feel free to comment and let us know your ways of making a little bit extra money in your IT store or if you're MSP or whatever it may be. So first of all, I'm going to go to Jenni. So Jenni, what's your first tip of how to make more money?
Well, I call it the would you like fries with that approach, which is simply upselling. Basically, when you know your customers and you're getting ready to collect their money and everything, and you're thinking, oh, I should really have worked harder on that sale. So what you do is when you quote them for the service that they're going to have, that they've brought it in, they want a service and everything, tell them, right, I can do that and it'll be XYZ for you to pay. Or I can offer you that plus I can offer to put in a year's antivirus on that as well for an extra odd amount. So you're upselling something that you really don't have to put a lot of effort into. is installing a program or something like that. Or I can also offer to back up your computer for XYZ amount while I'm at it. You've got their device in the store. They can only say yes or no. So there's a chance right there to make extra income without a lot of effort.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, to be honest with you. Definitely, upselling is the main thing, but one of the main things is thinking of different ways to do that and how to upsell different things. But before we go any further, let's just say hi to Russell. He's from Lexar, so hi Lexar and Russell. Russell, if you want, feel free to let everyone know where they can buy any Lexar gear from. So obviously, if you guys haven't used Lexar before, pretty good solid state drives, memory, SD cards, you name it, memory-wise, they generally do it. And I've been very impressed with some of their products just recently.
Yeah.
Right, so Jason, do you do anything like upselling or anything like that?
We do, and just going on from Jenny's point there, especially when you've got the customer in there, a lot of the upselling that we do at the moment is people are coming in because the laptops or the computers are mega slow, and an SSD is a fantastic solution. At the moment, obviously no moving parts, a lot faster. You buy a 120 gig SSD. And Windows, you can upsell, say, look, the 240, you're doubling your capacity for not that much more, as you know yourselves. Then there's not that much price difference, and even up to a 480 or 512 gigabyte, there's not that much difference. So you're upselling that, and you can also offer the cost of cloning the hard drive, or even backing up the data and transferring that as well. So that's a massive upsell that we're seeing at the moment.
Yeah, that's definitely agree there. What about yourself, Ben? Do you do any upselling as such?
Yeah, SSD is probably the biggest upsell I do. I mean, personally, I've hit a minimum of 240 gig SSDs because 120 is just kind of a bit too fine by the time you get all the Windows updates and Office and such like added on. But yeah, if someone comes in, they've got an ancient old computer, I'll upsell them to a new machine. I'll sort of cost that up to them for sort of doing a service, a clean and repaste, a clean install Windows and an SSD drive. And more often than not, the battery's on its way out if it's more than a few years old. And by the time they top that up, it's actually cheaper for them just for me to give them a few quid for an old machine and part exchange it and sell them a new machine. And they go away happier because they've got better value for money at the end of the day.
That sounds pretty good. Let's just say hi to Peter as well. Hi, Peter. How are you doing? Again, if anyone's got any ideas of how to save money, well, not save money, but make money. Saving money obviously comes into that as well. If you've got any ideas of that, make sure you comment in the comment section. You're a bit quiet tonight, guys. You're just wanting all these money ideas from us, aren't you? And not wanting to give away your own. I know what it is. Right. That's it. Right, let's go to one of my first things on the list, and I'm not sure if anyone's tried this. It could be controversial for some people or not, but it's affiliate marketing. You don't have to just do videos on YouTube and Facebook to actually take advantage of affiliate marketing. So, for example, that's if you basically have a link to something and people buy it off of Amazon, eBay, or wherever it may be, you can actually make money from it. And a good way of doing that, obviously, when you're repairing, building machines and stuff, obviously, you really need to say on the actual item that it is an affiliate link, but you can actually put, for example, we've got a page we've got on our website, and we put this on every customer's computer when they're having a new computer or something like that, or reinstall a Windows. And it's just a link on the desktop which takes them to this page. And basically on here, you've got links to Amazon and so forth. It needs updating a little bit. We haven't done it for a while, so it could do with a bit of tuning. But in there, we've got links to Amazon and so forth, which you might think, well, how do we make money from that? If that person clicks on Amazon and buys anything in the next 24 hours on that PC, you get between 1% and 10% of what they spend, basically. So you make money. So you can put that on your machine. We do recommend you put something like some links contain affiliation, promotions, links, and so forth. But you can do that for Amazon, eBay, and so forth. Obviously, I'm not a fan of pushing people to Amazon, but generally everyone uses Amazon these days. And if you say you don't, you're in the very small minority. So you can put a link on your desktop which just says handy links, which is what we do. And we tell the customers they can find everything they want on there. Not only have you got stuff like Amazon and stuff on there, we've also got links for example, news, sport, local entertainment, travel, and stuff like that. So customers can find easy ways to get to the most useful things, especially elderly customers who not always easy to find things and know how to find bookmarks and stuff like that. So we find that you can actually make a good few pennies from that, especially if the customer's using that every time they look. But obviously, always make sure you put down that it is a promotional or affiliation link, just to cover yourself. Do any of you, I know you do, Jen, but do any of you other guys, as in Jason and Ben, I nearly called you Paul then, Ben. I don't know why I'm getting Paul in my head tonight, but do either of you two use anything like affiliation links or anything like that?
No.
Nothing you thought about?
No, it's not something that I'm a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind passing information on to people to go and get certain products, but I'm not a fan of the affiliation link.
Mm-hmm. The way we do it, we don't send them to a specific product. It's just a link onto Amazon. So it's you make your affiliation, obviously, money from there. It's just another way of subsidizing what you do. Obviously, it's totally up to you if you do or not do it. But every time we do, as I said, we always put the information is affiliation. And I'll take your shaking of a head as you don't do that either, Ben.
No, I don't. I'm maybe a bit old-fashioned, but I don't try and sell stuff that I wouldn't perhaps use myself as well, or not.
Right.
Well.
Oh, don't worry. You say what you want to say. But yeah, basics is we know our customers use Amazon. Obviously, I'm not going to promote computers and stuff on there and so forth, but they do, and it's a way of making money. Whether you like it or not, you can do it or not do it.
I'd rather use Amazon than eBay because eBay, the prices are just coming down and down and down and down, and I don't like it.
The thing is, if you use Amazon, let's just say they go on Amazon and they're looking around. It doesn't necessarily mean they're looking at computer parts.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some makeup brushes the other day on Amazon simply because I couldn't be asked to get out of the house. I mean, I know that's sad. It's just, it was my day off. I said, I need some makeup brushes. And what do you know? Within seconds, I've got them delivered to my door the next day, And so it could be something as simple as that they're looking for, but you're going to get the revenue off the affiliation link. Whether it be £10 they're spending or what, it all adds up.
Yeah, I'll say that we don't use affiliation links. My wife runs a charity local to workshop. It's called From the Heart, and they have the smile.amazon.
Yeah. So
I've shared that link a few times, and obviously it costs us the same amount of money to buy what it would be on Amazon, but they get the the benefit from the link. So it's something that is something that we've shared on Amazon.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Just to go with something what a few people have mentioned, that there seems to be a bit of pausing happening. Something you could try if you're getting it, especially on Facebook, is just pause the stream briefly if it lets you. Usually you can just hit the pause button and it should pause, fingers crossed, just for a couple of seconds and then press play again. It should carry on. Otherwise, if it's still doing it, click the link, what I've just put in chat. It should, in theory, allow you to get on there. Just go onto our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/tech4techs, and you'll find it on the front page. It'll say live stream. Just click it there, watch it there, and you should be fine. But that's if you are finding you're getting a stuttering. If you're not, then, well, don't worry about it. Right, yeah. Let's go on to the next tips then. So, Jason, what other sort of tips have you got?
I was expecting to be a sponsor tonight, from somebody like Tender that you normally use. But Wi-Fi setup, the actual Tender Nova MW6 mesh system is absolutely fantastic for for home and business. That there for me is one of the best mesh systems. That it's easy to set up, and obviously as an upsell, I had a client in Bradford. Like I said earlier, I've been out in Leeds and Huddersfield this week. I was supposed to go to Bradford last week, but I've obviously had COVID. And what we did with that, we offered a free setup. So he sent me the SSIDs, for the guest network and the standard network, and with different passwords, and we set it up. And what we did, we sent it out to him, and he's absolutely over the moon because his kids are not giving him stress because the Xbox and the PlayStation's not lagging anymore. And the amount of range that he's even got right at the back of his garden, which is like 30, 40 feet away from the house. And he's got full bars. So as an upsell, if anybody's going to sell any like Wi-Fi networking stuff, look at the tender stuff. The MW6 is absolutely
awesome,
fantastic.
Yeah,
I've got it on now, and I've got a MacBook Pro that's connected to it, and it never drops ever. It's fantastic.
We have it in our house, and that's good stuff. I don't know where what we'd do without it.
Well, I got a message on Facebook from somebody who lives like over a quarter of a mile away, and he went, What network have you got? Because everybody calls me JC. Everybody knows me as JC. And he went, what guest network have you got? And I went, I've got a tendon over MW6. He went, I can pick your Wi-Fi up from my house. He's like, what? He couldn't believe it. And for the price of it, it's absolutely no brainer that it's a fantastic system. And I'm not saying that it's the best out there, but I'm just saying, obviously, I know you do a lot of Nova tender stuff in on here, and that's sponsored and things, but you can't knock the tender stuff. It's absolutely fantastic.
It is.
Yeah.
The price, 100%.
The mesh system, I must admit, is absolutely brilliant. We're using the MW12 at the moment in here.
Yeah, nice.
We've got the 6, I think it is in the Sharp. We've got one, I can't remember if it's a 6 or a 12, or it might even been a 5 in the studio. They're absolutely brilliant things. We've done other ones in the past. I think TP-Link, Mercusys, and don't get me wrong, they're good, just as good, but they're not as easy to set up. I find that the tender ones are it's basically plug in and pretty much away you go, to be honest with you, if you want.
The thing that we say to people, on the upsell again, is you've got this guest network. If you're working from home and you've got like sensitive information on your computers, right? Anybody who connects to it, your kids, the friends, people who come round, you've got a guest network. You don't have to connect to the main network, and it totally disconnects you, from anybody else, and nobody's going to get access to your information. And now, especially now, with the amount of scams that are going about, this network is 100% for me. You've got to have it.
No, that's a brilliant tip, to be honest with you. Definitely there. Right. Anyone else in the chat using tender products or any mesh kits or anything like that? Feel free to shout out and say if you upsell them. Let's have a quick look from Russell. He's saying, thanks. Lexar are a memory component manufacturer, blah, blah, blah. He tells you basically what they're. You can buy their products from M2M Direct. And if you ever need to, you can email Russell at russell.george@lexar.com. And if you do want to get hold of Lexar for any reason, just let me know if you know how to contact me, and I'll pass your details on or forward you on to him. So again, that's Lexar, who do SSDs and memory and so forth. Right, and believe it or not, they're not a sponsor tonight. If anyone else has got anything they want to shout out, I'll give you a shout out. Okay, right, let's move on to Ben. So what's your next tip advice, Ben?
So yeah, you were talking about saving money rather than making money earlier, and we were talking about SSDs. One of the things I did last week, I've been using Kingston SSDs, and I think I'm allowed to mention brand names, Phil. I've been very happy with them, don't get me wrong, really happy. But they were working at about £23 for 240. I've just moved on the recommendation of quite a lot of folk to Ortial, and saving, I'm reckoning I save about sort of £900 to £1,000 a year on my SSD cost. And quite a few of my customers are using them, quite a few of the guys on Tech for Techs have used them, recommended them. And having asked them and spoken to them, the failure rate is pretty much exactly the same as what Kingston are getting. So, yeah, it's small wins like that. It's only a couple of quid a drive difference, but over the course of a year, you can save yourself like £1,000. And the second half of that is whenever I do SSD upgrades for people, or whenever I pull hard drives from systems, I pile them up, wipe them down, and dispose of them at the end of the year. And yeah.
Yeah, pretty good tip there. Yeah, so definitely Ortial's another good place to get SSDs from. We don't just say Lexar, Ortial as well. Good company. We've worked with them in the past as well. They do SSDs and RAM as well. I think that's about it they do at the moment, isn't it? If I'm right.
Yeah, just SSDs and RAM when I spoke to them.
I've just signed up. I had a chat with Oliver, I believe, last week. About this these SSDs. Currently, we're using Target, for theirs. But I'm going to place an order with Orchard and see how we go with them.
I have to say, I was very impressed. I mean, next day delivery, it was very quick. The packaging looks really nice as well. Yeah. So
that sounds pretty good then. Yeah, I'm going to say good products. I must admit, we have reviewed those in the past. So if you want to see either Lexar or Ortial or any other memory products we've reviewed in the past, from Seagate to whatever, we've got quite a few on the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/. Right, okay, so let me go to my next thing. So obviously upselling is always a big thing, as obviously has been sold on here. We do a lot of upselling maintenance contracts, or I don't like to call them maintenance contracts to customers. You say contract to a customer and they think they're getting tied into something, so I'll call it an agreement. So sometimes wording is as important to what you're actually selling. Maintenance contract, it's basically they pay so much a month, and obviously you give them whatever services you're selling them, which can include backup, it can include remote support, it can even include home visiting or office visiting or whatever. You don't have to just do it for businesses, you can do it for residentials as well. We sell a lot of them to residentials, more than we have businesses, but obviously the business ones you can usually charge a bit more because they're usually a bit more demanding, where the home users are usually can't get on Facebook and stuff like that. But still, most of the time you can fix stuff remotely. It takes you 5 minutes to do. They've lost a shortcut for something or something like that, and it's easy to do. And there's lots of different companies out there you can use. There's Synchro, there's Ninja, there's Pulse, there's millions of them what do stuff like that. Just have a look for RMM software, and you should be able to find a company what fits you. And then we use the company called Go Cardless to collect money, which is basically like a way of taking direct debit payments out of your customers on a monthly basis, and you don't have to do anything about it. It just basically takes it from the customer, puts it in your bank account. Simple as that. So you make money very easily. You don't have to keep billing obviously you have to send them in invoices and stuff, but you don't have to ring them up and ask them for the money every month and so forth. So it makes things very easy. So that's Go Cardless. Also, Russell's saying that he's won a tender mesh system as well through Tech for Tech's competition. My son's games in his bedroom from it, and basically he's saying it's never let him down. So yeah, I must admit I can't say we've really ever had a problem with any of the mesh systems we've set up. So, Tender's definitely a good brand to work with, I must admit. I've never had an issue with them. And if you need to get in touch with Tender, the guys at Tender, I can put you in touch with them as well if anyone ever does need to. Right, let's move on. Jen, have you got any more tips for us, or upselling or advice?
With Windows 11 coming around and people having a big demand for it, I can't stress it enough. It's important to know what you're quoting for. Don't take it for granted just because you hear the little lady at the end of the line saying, I need to replace my computer, that she knows what components she's going to need. I had one ring today and say that she needed to replace her home computer. And I thought, well, this will be diddly build to do, really simple. And by the time we got finished talking, it's going to be more involved than what I thought. What I thought would be a Pentium mod processor job is going to turn out to be an i3 or an i5 for what she wants. So don't take it for granted that they know exactly what they're talking about when you quote the spec for a computer. And also know how much storage they're using before you quote. because if you go and quote for 240 SSD, which is default what I quote for, and they have a terabyte's worth of stuff that they're saving, they're going to get upset when they don't have enough storage on their new computer for everything. So it might be worth it if you have a call out service that you can go around and check and see what they need before you quote. Go out and look at it like Phil does. I book him in to go in and see what's needed if need be, and then he'll get a quote for them and I build it. Or they'll even drop it into the store and I can look and see what's needed before I quote. So just bear that in mind.
Okay, yeah, good tips. Some of the things I check for when I go out on site is obviously printers. Check that obviously they were going to work with a new machine if they're having them. A big thing is if it's a tower they're having, is checking the monitor connections, because a lot of people go out and buy a tower and then they've got a monitor which is only a VGA connection and the new tower doesn't have VGA on it, and stuff like that. And even things you might think are basic, where they've ordered a new monitor from you, and then they suddenly get a new monitor from you back when you set up the machine, but there's no speakers built into the monitor where their old one did. So, and stuff like that, and obviously checking programs they use. A common one I come across is Microsoft Money. The amount of people want to use Microsoft Money, God almighty, it's like they've not been updated in like 17 years or something, and they're always wanting, oh, will Microsoft Money work? Yeah, I've got the links and stuff installed, but I don't recommend it because it is a good few years old these days. So, but yeah, sorry,
Lotus Notes.
Oh God, yeah, that'd be even worse. So, yeah, Peter's saying, yeah, got caught out on speakers, and yes, we still have Money users, and it works fine on. Yeah, it does. I think it's a Money Pro Sunset or something like that, the latest version or something. But yeah, it is a bit of a pain, to be honest. I'm just thinking if there's anything else what we set up. Obviously, versions of Office. Obviously, if they're having a new machine, they might not realise they use Microsoft Office, or there might be fans if they've got of using Outlook Express and something along that lines, which obviously is no longer supported. Windows, yes, it can be. It can be installed still, but God, I wouldn't wish anyone used that. But yeah, there's lots of different things. So it's always best to double check and always carry some adapters with you as well. I'm not a fan of always having adapters like DVI to HDMI and different things like that. I prefer to use a straight cable, but there's not always a solution doing that if they don't want to change the monitor or something daft. Right.
Also, when you quote for a new PC or an upgrade, let's just say they want to upgrade the graphics card, make sure that the power supply will support it, because there's nothing worse than having to have a nasty adapter on the end of a power supply. But to me, they're not meant for that job, and they can be a potential fire risk.
Yeah. Let's just quickly go through chat. So we've got Greg saying we've recently been offering discounts on console internal cleaning when the customer is having another repair on it, such as a HDMI port, hard drive, blah, blah, blah. Ben working well so far. Been working well so far, I presume it means that, unless you've got someone working there called Ben. Right, okay, so yeah, so good points is offering stuff like that. You can do the same with PCs. If you get something coming in for a repair, you can offer to repaste it, clean the inside. You know the fans are going to be dumped up with cigarette ash or hairs or deodorant spray or something like that. I remember when computers first started... people first started having multiple computers in the house, because to begin with, it was like one computer between everyone in the house, and they'd all share it, but like it used to be with TVs. And then we started finding that the kids would start having them in the bedrooms and stuff like that, and we started getting computers coming in all gunked up with smelly stuff, and we were like, what is this? Is it like some sort of cocaine or something inside the actual machines? It took us a while to figure out it was deodorant spray, and the machines were gunked up with deodorant spray. I've come across other things like cat litter as well, where they put it next to cat litter boxes and stuff like that, and so forth. They can be a bit nasty as well. But yeah, watch out for things like that. It's worth warning people about that as well. Hi, Trish from Target. So Target Components, if you ever wanted any components or any bits and bobs from Target, well, there's your person to talk to, Trish. They do have other account managers as well. I think she was one of the nominated as one of the finalists for the Tech Awards last year as well. So congrats there, Trish, because I remember seeing your name come up a few times. Right, okay. Peter's mentioned a good few things. We have a good attach rate on BullGuard. So, yeah, BullGuard's a good one, or any other security what offers, again, some sort of like rebate scheme or something like that. We use BullGuard. Don't get me wrong, they have had one or two issues recently, but there are other companies available. MZSoft, I think, is one of them. I think Malwarebytes might do as well, and so forth. But basically, if people renew online and they don't bother renewing in your store or whatever, you still get a 25% cut. I think it's 25% or 30% if you're like a real high-end seller. Actual cut of the actual renewal fee. So if these people renew it at £40, you get a tenner for everyone who renews it, and you don't even have to do anything. And that's for the life of the product. So 10 years on, you can still be earning money from them, even though the customer's probably not seen you for 10 years. And that can add up over the years. So I would advise looking into something like that. Again, Office 365 is another one, mainly for businesses. I think I'm not sure of any consumer versions of Office 365, what you can resell on a monthly basis. Do you know of any, Jason or Ben?
Yeah, we sell 365 to our MSP clients, and to be honest with you, it's not. There's no money in the Office 365 itself. It's more in the support. So,
you're right. Get you.
When we have an RMM client, we have different bundles that we have. So we have like antivirus, firewall, spam filter. Like if you want signatures, for your email, Office 365, backup, SaaS backup, if obviously for Microsoft or like G Suite products, that's what we offer as well. So we don't make virtually anything off the Office 365 package. It's all combined into the support package that we give them.
So it's the overall package,
I spoke to Trish at Target earlier, and she obviously realised that I was coming on here tonight, and she says, how are you feeling? I went, to be honest with you, I'm shitting myself. First time I've ever done it. And she went, you'll be all right. Just talk to them like you do everybody else. So, yeah, cheers for that, Trish.
There you go. So, yeah, well, you seem to be doing a good job anyway. Let's put it that way. So I don't think you had anything to worry about. But, yeah, Peter says in-store setups, another upsell, data transfer, home setup. So, yeah, some definitely good points there. Obviously, charge extra for home setting up PCs, or include that into the price as a selling point. That's how we do it. If you spend over £400 on a new PC, we include home setup. So you could obviously don't have to do £400, could be a bit more and so forth. It's really up to you. So it's another selling point. And obviously when you're going around the house, you're getting a chance to see the rest of the equipment, and you can advise on other things as well while you're there, which is also usually ends up meaning you're selling security, selling maybe a new printer and so forth in the package. So yeah, definite good things there. And Facebook user, which is Trish, I'm guessing, is saying you're doing great, Jason. Trish, do me a favor so your name can be shown. Click this link or type this in your web browser. Let me just copy it. And that way your name will be shown in the chat. It's just Facebook's a bit of a pain in the backside, unfortunately. They like blocking people's names unless you click this link and give them approval. Right, okay, let's go round. So anyone else here got any other ideas of making more money?
Yes.
Go on then, Ben.
Can I say hi to Trish as well? Because she's my account manager at Target.
She doesn't care about you. She's not mentioned you, Ben. She's not bothered. She doesn't want your business anymore, I don't think. She likes Jason instead.
To be honest, she's not even that good.
My tip, and you get absolutely laugh this one up, Phil and Jenni, when I tell you what this tip is.
Sorry. Sorry, guys, you were both talking at the same time. Start again, Ben. What were you saying?
I say you can absolutely lap this one up. You and Jenny will lap this up. It's to be on a show like Tech for Tech show, because you never know who's going to be listening and who's going to be watching the show. I do a lot of trade sales, computer shops, that sort of thing. I've had people contact me through Facebook or give me a phone who've been watching the show, who've been on the show with me, and I've started supplying to them. And it might work better for some business models than others, but I've been quite sort of happy with it. And it's a nice way to spend a Thursday evening as well, chatting to like-minded folk. And yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, definitely. Doing stuff like this is always a good way of improving your business. I was trying to find an email what I got earlier on, but I can't find it now. But yeah, so it's surprising how many people actually do watch the show and so forth. One of the things, and I can't find it now, typical, but I got an email earlier on saying that our podcast version, which isn't really plugged as much as the live show, has reached 1,500 views. So that's not too bad. We've only been doing that about a year, the podcast version. But we have now reached around about 4.5 million views from all our other videos on YouTube, and that's obviously not including Facebook and stuff. So believe it or not, your face does get out there. Some of our videos, 800,000 I think's the biggest, so not far off 1 million off of just one video. But you usually get a good few hundred, few thousand on different things. So yeah, you become sort of a celebrity, and all the account managers will be calling you tomorrow, asking you, "Hey, why didn't you promote me?" Probably.
You won't believe who watches you either. If you're having this broadcast onto your Facebook, you won't believe who tunes in. The people that you would not think would be interested do. And I don't mean your mom. I mean people that have been your Facebook friends since the beginning of time. They may just tune in out of curiosity to see what it's about. I had one lady that has been my Facebook friend since I've been on Facebook. She told me just the other day, she said, I watch your shows, and I think you're so smart and everything. God bless her. And you know what you're talking about. And I just really enjoyed the show. And I wouldn't say that she is technical in the sense of that she builds computers and everything, but she's nobody's fool when it comes to a computer. But I would have never thought that she would have tuned in to a show like we do. But she absolutely enjoys it. So I'm really pleased that people that I just really didn't think about are tuning in.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Sometimes you do get quite a few people tuning in. Right, okay, so let's have a look. We've got any more in chat now? Chat's pretty quiet, so come on, guys. I can see there's quite a lot of you watching tonight. So what other ways do you do to make more money? So Jen, Ben, and Jason, and if Paul in here as well somewhere, if he's in here. Only kidding. For some reason, if you're not sure, I was for some reason I was calling Jason Paul at the beginning of the show, so it's his new middle name.
When you mentioned it earlier, I'm like,
"Who's Paul?"
I was like, what?
If I say that I'm struggling making a sale, I am not afraid to wiggle a little bit, and I don't mean knock off on money. I don't do that. But if I say they're a little bit indecisive on buying this laptop, I might break down and say, all right, you know what? If you buy it today, I'll include a free year of BullGuard. You know how much that costs you. So to make a sale where you're going to profit, what you will, your profit margin is on a laptop, sometimes it's worth biting the bullet a little bit on security or something that that they will need anyway to make the sale. I'm never one to knock off on money, but maybe include something as part of the service, data transfer, for example, free data transfer with the purchase of a laptop and things like that. Sometimes that's all they need as an incentive to buy is just one little sweet extra, and you've got a deal.
Yeah, going on from that, it's not the incentive. If you're giving a client, we don't call them customers anymore. We call them clients. If you're giving a client good value, for what you're offering. If you've got a laptop, say £400, right? Say, look, you buy this laptop, was £400, but in that £400, we will transfer your data across. You're giving them value. As technicians, we hate to sell to people. Like I mentioned earlier, it's not in our in our DNA, to sell. We're not that type of person. But unfortunately, when we run the business, we are this salesperson. But if we can give good value and the customer's happy with it, you look at Google reviews, that people that you've helped over time, and that's a massive selling point. Yeah, you might not have made an extra £20 or £30 plus VAT, but these people going on Google or whatever, TripAdvisor or whatever, like reviews that are out there, giving you this positive review, it only helps your business overall.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, we've got also another comment saying he's sending out reminders out every 6 months for people not on a service contract, and that also for computer maintenance. Also, always sell AV as a subscription for recurring revenue. Yeah, it's always best to find that recurring revenue thing. But as you were saying, Jason, the adding value to your sale is a brilliant thing. A lot of people get value and cheap mixed up. Cheap
100%.
basically means it's crap, usually, sorry to say it. Value means you're actually getting value for money. Value things don't have to be cheap. You can get good value on an expensive item as well. A lot of people think value is always associated with cheap stuff. It isn't. So yeah, definitely there.
Yeah.
Right, okay, anything else you guys want to add in there?
I was just going to say about the whole value for money thing. If like someone's looking at a computer, I'll sort of explain to them. If they're not so tech savvy, I'll explain about the processor. You get your Pentium Celeron on the bottom of the barrel, and then you've got your i3, i5, i7s, the top end sort of stuff, middle of the road. And I'll sort of go through my reasoning for why I sell a particular unit. Like I don't buy in Celeron and Pentiums as a rule of thumb. I sort of go minimum i3 because it's what my customers like, and it's what people perceive to be a better value machine, faster machine, and and if you can explain it to your customers who are non-sort of technical, and they see a better value for money, then yeah, you'll get the sale.
Yeah, definitely good points there. Right, let's have a look. So, right, one of the things what I like to do as well is obviously think of things where people need to come back in for extras. For example, we like to sell printers, and the only brand we sell is Epson printers. And the reason why we only sell Epson printers is because we only sell Epson inks, which means if we sell a printer, the customer's going to come back in more than likely for inks. We don't sell any other brand. We don't sell HP, Canon. It's not that I don't like them. Well, with the exception of HP. Canon, Brother, whatever. It's that we can't fit every single ink cartridge in the store. With the Epson ones, we tend to know what's wrong with the Epsons. We know all the little issues and stuff like that, if there is any, and so forth. So that's pretty good thing to do, because you can make a good, decent amount of profit on things like ink, and cables is another thing. Is can be big money on cables as well. So that's also a good selling point.
Alison made a good point.
Yeah, go ahead. You read that one out.
If she says if you're asked for a service and you don't currently offer that, find a good partner to outsource with, and even if you do, and you know that the job is beyond your pay grade of what you're able to do, such as data recovery, you know how far you can go with that. And when you need someone like Alison to step in, who is a specialist in data recovery, you can outsource to her and recommend her at East Anglia in data recovery.
Yeah, then bear in mind there are other data recovery companies available as well, just in case anyone says anything. But yeah, so stuff like what Alison does, outsource your repairs, if it's hard drives, board repairs, or anything like that. There's places what do board repairs as well, which you can outsource the work to them, send it off within probably a week. They'll send it you back all fixed and, well, hopefully fixed and repaired. I think Alison does it two ways at EADR, where you can either send the customer direct to them, or you can basically send the device to, obviously, EADR yourself. Obviously, if the customer sends it to them, then they mention your name, then you get commission and so forth. So, yeah, good idea. So there's always extra ways to make money. If you don't know anything about Alison Cook and EADR, have a look on our website, Tech for Techs, and there's a bit on there about EADR if you want to look that up. We've also got... let's have a look. I also sell insurance for laptops and computers. With the hardware I sell, I get a commission from the insurance company. Also, when the time is broken, when the item is broken, the customer has to come to me for the repair. The insurance pays. So, yeah, that's a pretty good way of doing it. What sort of insurance companies do you use? Because it's one of those things, do they require you to have a certain turnover or anything along that lines? Or is there a specific website you use or company name? Feel free to give them a shout out if you want. We've also got, if you're selling a printer, including a USB cable, that normally does not come included with a printer. So it's ready to use. Yeah, so that's something we always do. Chuck a USB cable in with a printer. You'd be surprised how many people have issues with wireless and stuff like that. And most printers don't come with a USB cable, and you can use it as a selling point as well, because if you go in PC World, they'll charge you a small fortune for a 20-year-old USB cable or whatever it may be. So
don't get me started on them.
USB 1.1.
Yeah, exactly. One of those grey ones. What we used to...
plus that.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty sure they bought that many of them years ago. They're still trying to sell them now. So, right. Cornell Sell is saying he's using Mend It for insurance. So that's definitely something to look into, guys. If you're looking for insurance, to put extra insurance on your machines, use Mend It. Generally, we don't offer ourselves insurance on our machines we sell, because we generally offer a 3-year warranty on all the machines we build anyway. And the reason we do that, we never have an issue with them. So obviously it's only hardware. Obviously it includes labor if there's a problem with the hardware, doesn't include software and stuff like that, but it's very rare we ever come across an issue, and generally most things these days do come with at least a 2 or 3 year warranty on them anyway.
There's a couple of reasons we don't have a problem too, and I know not everyone can do this, but after I build the machine, I go down a checklist to make sure that I've done this. And then behind me, Phil comes and he'll QC behind me and make sure it's done as well. So not only is it checked, it's double checked by both of us. So if he gets to where he's going, and let's just say the sound didn't work for some reason, we know it's environmental, or a cable has come loose or something in transit because it was working when it left the shop. We both know it.
Yeah. Or it's user error, which is usually the case. So, for example, the laptop the other day where the sound wouldn't work, and it's because she wasn't clicking on, yes, it's a headset at the bottom corner. She was clicking, yes, it's a microphone instead. But there we go. That's customers for you. Right, we're coming to the end of the show, guys. So if there's anyone got anything else they want to shout out, let us know. As they're saying there, the insurance company is Actua, based in the Netherlands. There is no minimum turnover. Obviously, if you're in the Netherlands, I don't know if there's a UK version of it. You can also try those as well, or the Mend It, what's been mentioned. Right, one of the biggest things, the biggest ways to make money, which I'm surprised no one's mentioned. Go on, Ben.
Put your prices up, Phil. I knew you were going to say it.
There you go. There we go. I was waiting for it. Put your prices up. And everyone's scared to charge more money. Obviously, most of us are technicians, geeks, and so forth. As Jason was saying before, we're sometimes scared to charge people money for the work we do. We are skilled people after all. And I know not all of us like people, and some of us are scared of people and may even hide behind the counter when someone comes in because you just don't want to talk to a real person. In some cases, yeah, I know what that feels like. But you do have to put your prices up in some cases, or in a lot of cases. A lot of people charge too little for the services. Obviously, we do polls all the time in Tech for Techs, and we can see some people are charging a lot, which obviously if they can charge it and people are paying, well, hey, but some people are charging that little. I'm surprised that after all your taxes and everything, you're actually making less than minimum wage. So guys, get your pricing about the same as everyone else in your local area. If you're underpriced, believe it or not, putting your price up by $5 it may earn you an extra good few grand a year, and the chances you're going to lose a few grand's worth of work because of that £5 is very unlikely. So I think everyone we've always said, hey, you put your prices up, and they put the prices up. Most of them come back saying we have had no difference in the amount of customers coming in, and in some cases it's actually gone up because they actually look like they're a better outfit because they're charging more money and they don't look too cheap, as we were mentioning before. You look cheap, people are going to put basically turn their noses up. And we made that mistake when we opened our retail store. We were just doing call out services and stuff, and we decided, right, let's open the retail store and charge less than everyone else in the local area. That way we get loads of customers. And what we got was a load of time wasters. But as soon as we put our prices up near enough doubled them, then suddenly we got a hell of a lot better quality of customer, or as Jason calls them, clients. And they are willing to pay a lot more. So
time wasters suddenly went bye-bye.
Yeah, they did. Also, charging an actual diagnostics fee or deposit or whatever first. If they don't go ahead with a repair, then we charge them a diagnostic fee of £30. It used to be 20, it's gone up to 30 recently. And that basically puts off all the time wasters, which are there just to find out, oh, what's the problem? And you offer them free diagnostics, and then they go, oh, I don't want it repairing. They'll take it home, and because you've told them what the problem is, they try and fix it themselves, which could go good or bad depending on what they're like. Right, do any of you guys have anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, I'll just go on from that point, Phil. We used to do free diagnostics. We felt that we shouldn't charge for diagnostics, even though it was using our time. And even something as simple as like a power supply that's blown, we were saying, no, yeah, it's the power supply. We can fit a new power supply, £24. Obviously, anything that we used to do, any hardware that was bought from us, we used to fit it for free, and we were losing so much money, like every year. But now we've got like a set fee diagnostics now, and Alex Lilly, who's commented in the chat earlier, doing a hashtag which is it's a hashtag that's only known local to us, and it's got swear words in it, so I won't recommend saying it. But yeah, we were the same. We would just do the diagnostics and say, look, it's the motherboard that's gone, or it's a processor or whatever, and we would spend time diagnosing that, and we were losing money. So we have a set diagnostics fee now. The business has grown because of it. You get rid of the people who are time wasters, like you say, and like, oh, I'm not paying that for a diagnostics fee. Fair enough. But the people who are willing to pay for it, we will reduce that fee if they have the work done with us. So although we're charging, if they're going to have the work done with us, and we will guarantee that work, we'll reduce that fee. So we get a lot more better quality customers, rather than people coming in saying, oh, what's the cheapest this, what's the cheapest that, that you get. You've got to split your clients with the people who are just going to be, as they're called, tire kickers, and people who waste your time drains, to people who actually want to. And there's a lot of people that'll probably come in your shop as well. They want to use local businesses because they like you, they trust you, and they will use you, like more and more over time. When they have work done. And like going back to the reviews again, you might get 100 5-star reviews, but you will always get one person who's not happy and give you like a 1 or 2 star review. It happens to us all, but that's good. It shows you that you're human, and you're not like like paying for like 5-star reviews like a lot of people do. And like us four here, you can look at us four and you're like, these are genuine people who want to actually help people. They don't rip people off. They give good value for money, and they're really good at what they do. So that's why we've been around a lot longer than these people who are only here for 2, 3 or 4 years.
That's it.
Diagnostics, what I do is I explain to them, it's £30 diagnostics fee. Okay. But if you choose to get it repaired with me, I won't add the diagnostics on top. It'll be included in the fixed fee. And most people will look at me and say, fair enough. Mm-hmm. So, and the ones that are serious, straight up when they enter the door and they put their goods on the table and you explain your terms of service to them and they say fair enough or something like that, that there's not going to be an issue 9 times.
You know yourself, Jenny, when somebody comes into the store or the shop, as we call it, like there will be that bit of interaction, and straight away that these people they're just going to waste my time. They just want the cheapest option. Fair enough. Sometimes you might give them a cheap option and say, look, it's only going to be £30 to fix it, including VAT, which is not a lot. But there's always going to be people that take the mickey and say, oh, my friend can do it and this, that, and the other. But like I say, we're at the beginning of the show, we are technicians in theory, but at the end of the day, because we're business owners, we are salespeople, and that's what the whole thing about is. We try and upscale, we try and do this, but at the end of the day, we always try to give the best value that we can, and that's why people like and trust us and use us.
And don't be afraid to take money up front. If you're selling or offering a service, don't be afraid to ask for your money up front, especially when it comes to something like ordering computer parts for a build. Money up front.
Yeah.
But until I get my money, there is no deal on the table. I'm that way. And also, if you have a client come through the door and you don't think that you're going to get your money from this diagnostics, don't be afraid to ask for it up front. As well as I do, the kind of people that make the hair on your back of your neck stand up and you go, I'm not going to get my money. I know I'm not going to get my money.
Yeah, well, we always mention look, we might not be able to fix it, but there will be a diagnostics fee.
Yeah.
If we can fix it, that diagnostics fee will be, like taken away, from the final price.
Yeah. But and if you don't feel like you're going to get your money,
we've been the same. Like you try and help people, but people do take, like the mickey and they try and get whatever they can out of you. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of people who do it now, but in years gone by, it was a lot of people that did it, and you were doing free diagnostics, and it was just costing you business money.
Yeah.
And if you don't feel like you're going to get your diagnostics fee, ask for it up front.
No, that's why we always say, like we do charge a diagnostics fee, and if it is what it is, sometimes it might be as cheap as £15. It's not a lot, and especially if you're VAT registered, it's only £12.50, which is nothing really. But we make it clear to the customer that there is a diagnostics fee, and if they want the computer back or whatever, if they don't want it, like we've had a lot of people say, look, can you keep the computer and just sell the parts and keep the diagnostics fee? Where we have done that. If it's not worth it, we might sell a 15.6-inch laptop screen for £40, refurbished or whatever. So you're getting your money back that way. But some people, if it's not worth it, say, look, it's not worth it to us. Just come and pick your laptop up or your computer or whatever.
But if you don't feel like you're going to get your money and what they've put on your desk is a hunk of junk and you know it, what I always do is say,
like
all right, this is 30.
From like 1885.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, Jen. I think you cut off there.
I always say, right, this is going to be 30 pounds diagnostics. And if I don't feel like they are really all in or they don't understand things, what I'm talking about, I'll ask them for my 30 pounds up front. I just know my customer base. Most of them I don't have to do that with. But I will say I'm not afraid to ask for my 30 pounds up front. And I'll tell them I'll even give you a receipt for it. You bring this in, it's even in my system, and I'll take that off of the fixed fee, I'm not going to rip you off, but I want my money up front. And they'll either do it or they won't. And if they don't want to do it and I feel like they need to, well, then there's always someone else that can take it too.
Yeah.
Right.
Like say, don't be afraid. Sorry, Phil.
Yeah. Go on quickly, Ben, because we've got
like
to finish up.
Like you guys said, don't be afraid to sort of turn it away when it's not sort of good enough. It's I had somebody ask me, a friend through a club that I go to, asked me to look at a laptop, and he brought it in last night, and it's like this 17-year-old Toshiba Satellite Pro L10 Celeron 725. And he's like, "Oh, what can you do with it?" I said, "I'm a technician, not a magician." I says, "Really, I can't do much with it." So
yeah, even if you got stuck with it, you couldn't even sell the parts on.
I just said, "Look, please just take it away. I'm sorry." I said,
The thing is with that, you need to be upfront and say, "Look, it's 10 or 12 years old. There's not a lot we can do about it. If you want to leave it with us, then there will be a diagnostics fee. But you know yourself, you're going to look at it and you think, there's nothing I can do with that. So you say, look, if you take, we don't mind selling you a refurbished system, because obviously that's what you do, Ben.
Yeah.
We're not going to charge you for looking at that, because I can guarantee you now there's not a lot we can do about it. So I'm never not charged for looking at it. My time is worth money. Yeah, but if he comes in and he just puts it on the counter and you know that it's not worth it, you can't just look at it and just say, look, yeah, it's £30. Look, Ben will be like, look, it's not worth doing, right? We've got this refurbished system that's £100 or whatever. We can do you that, but that system is not worth it. Then you can obviously upsell and charge him to transfer his data, pictures, documents, or whatever, onto it as well.
And people will thank you for honesty as well.
Yeah, of course. Well, at the end of the day, we've all been customers, and if we go somewhere and we feel like we've been, like not ripped off, but if we don't feel like we've got value from it, then you get that buyer's remorse, don't you? And you think, oh, I've bought this, I shouldn't have done it. If you can send people away being happy and fulfill that they've had a good service from you, they're always going to use you again. And that's what we do. I mean, yeah, I've not been in this Tech for Tech group that long, but I try and give my value. I try and answer questions to the best of my knowledge. Yeah. Obviously, there's people get this information for free, and obviously from yourselves as well. I know Phil answers loads of questions, and obviously yourself, Ben, you've been on this live so many times, and Cormac and stuff. People are getting value and they're getting information from you for free just by getting on this live. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come on. I've got a massive amount of knowledge to give for free, and I don't mind doing it in there. But when they come to my shop, then obviously they need to pay for that service. And like Phil, I know Phil does a massive amount of work in the background, on stuff like this. And the Max Tech that you're doing. I was like early doors. I seen it and I was like, I signed up straight away. I'm there for the daytime and the evening. I spoke to Jace Jennings, who does the the computer repair guy thing, the other day, and I'm going to meet Jason there. So this group has brought together people just for the value of meeting people. That's what it's more for me, rather than making like thousands and thousands of pounds off people.
Yeah. That's it. Speaking of, I would like to keep the show going, guys, but we're about 10 minutes over already. So what I would like to say, first of all, is Jen also does a lot of the back-end stuff. You probably don't see her a lot of the time because she is working on a lot of the office stuff. So, and also, bear in mind, is obviously, even though Jen, Jason, Ben, and whatever, we've all got different ideas. Obviously, not every idea will work for everyone. So obviously, research what you're going to do first. There is no wrong answer. It could just be different for you. So what works for Jen may not work for Jason, and what works for Ben may not work for me, and vice versa. So just bear that in mind, and that's why we have 4 people on the show to give us all different views, basically. So, right. Saying that, I had one message from someone, which I just want to finish the show with. Someone was asking me, what if I put up my prices and all my customers disappear? Well, let's put it this way. If you're charging, let's just say 30 quid for all your services, which is a little low, but let's just say you are, okay, and you put your prices up by £5, and let's just say you do 20 jobs a week, okay, for a whole year, you will make an extra £5,000 profit. Okay, that's £5,000 by just putting your prices up by a fiver. Okay, the chance you're going to lose £5,000 worth of work from customers, especially if you're only charging 30 quid, is very unlikely. So I would obviously suggest you look at your pricing schemes, and I know for a fact a lot of you, and not all of you, some of you got some pretty good pricing, but a lot of you do have pretty low pricing, and your customers, especially with what's going on around the world at the moment, prices of everything's going up. You need to make sure you keep your prices up as well. If obviously everything's going up by 5%, you need to put all your prices up by 5% to keep level. Otherwise, you're going to be losing 5% next year and so forth. So make sure you put your prices up. Right, just to finish it off, we do... sorry, what was that, Jen?
I said before we go, I do want to plug TechMax one more time. Shout out to my people out there. You know who you are in the group. Don't forget to get your TechMax tickets, because they are going really quickly. Get them now. And if you need information, it's on the website as to where you can stay. All sorts of information there that we've put together for you at www.techmax2022.co.uk.
There we go. So Jen's done the plug-in for me. So, right, okay. So we'll call it a night. We will be back on next week, next Thursday, and the show is going to be about what not to say to a customer. And I think we've had a couple of examples of those today. Maybe instead of a customer, calling them a client and so forth, and obviously contracts, agreements. But what else should you not say to a customer? And I'm guessing there's going to be some very interesting responses to that. But if you want to be on the show next week, and that goes for anyone, current guests, past guests, and new guests, if you want to be on the show, let me know and we'll get you on the show. That'll be next Thursday at 8 p.m. We are live every Thursday. So that's every Thursday at 8 p.m. You can get us on all the usual channels, or if you're not sure where we are, just go to techfortex.co.uk. If I get the right one up, which is there. And also, if you're interested in joining the Tech for Tech group, if you're based in the UK, or you work in the UK, or you trade in the UK, then you're welcome to join. Just make sure you fill in the form when you go to techfortex.co.uk/join. Otherwise, we'll see you all next week, and apologies for running slightly over the hour today, but we've had 3 very passionate guests on. So we'll see you all, guys, next week at 8 o'clock. See you later.